Hi, good afternoon guys, thanks for joining me. Hope everyone's well, hope everyone's enjoying the week, and a real wet week we've had here at the moment, so it's just nice just to get out and just get a little bit of fresh air. So what I thought we'd do in today's video, I'm just quickly carving just a little spatula out. I did try to find a little piece of alder the other day, but I couldn't find any, so I've just got a piece of birch here. What I'm doing is just pretty much just mimicking just the shape of the one which I like to use. So not a great deal of work with them really, it's just a case really of just thinning out just the meat on that now. The shape of it isn't too bad, but really I just wanted to come out and just wish everyone a happy Christmas, and just to say hiya, and hope that you'll have a great time. And like I say, whilst I'm out, I'm just going to carry on just carving this bit of a spatula here. So I'm just using a couple of different knives. I've just got the Enzo Necker. With it being full tang, it's nice. You just need to batten away any pieces of the wood. But again, it's also a nice sturdy knife, just to remove any thickness. And then just for the more delicate parts, I've just got one of Ben Orford's, the English slide knife. Again, a razor sharp knife and a real joy to work with. So, like I say, there isn't a great deal of work on these spatulas. It's just more of a case of thinning everything out and just getting them the shape that you like to use them. And that's pretty much the shape which I like. I'm just going to thin just all this front end down here, and then also get rid of, like I say, the meat just on the thickness of the handle. So I just want to thank everyone that sent me emails just wishing me happy Christmas. And apologies for not being about for the past couple of weeks. I've finished the season up at the fishery now till the springtime. And I've just started just some voluntary work. It's a nice little charity, just keeps me off the streets, plus also just helps people out. And it's just a charity that helps people with mental health issues and drug addictions and that kind of thing. And they've got a nice piece of woodland and a small little pool, so just been giving them a hand just to maintain things. So it has been taking up quite a bit of my time, but like I say, it's for a good cause. So just thinning out just the main part of the head here. So as you can see, it doesn't take too long to start reducing some of that thickness down. If I wanted to, I could have started off with a thinner board. But with it being birch, I split it just a little bit thicker, because you tend to find you get a lot of these little knots in it. When you do split it down, you know, the wood itself tends to be a little bit twisted. So I tend to use things like dead standing alder. With it being dead standing, there's less chance of it splitting and also warping when it dries. So there's a good chance that this may split a little bit. But I went down the woods yesterday, just at the back of the house there. And it looks like the council have been dropping a load of birch trees. So instead of just leaving it on the path and letting it go to waste, I thought we'd pick a bit up and turn it into something. So this was a piece what I found yesterday. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. That thickness now has been reduced, so we're just going to taper that down just so it's even thinner, so that we can get underneath the bacon and underneath the eggs, that kind of thing. And if you wanted to, you could make one side just a little bit dished, so again you could use it for stirring, or you could perhaps use it as a little spoon. And that's the beauty about making your own utensils. You know, you can decide what you want them to look like, how functional they are and that kind of thing, and also choose the materials what you're going to make them out of. So I'm just going to go over to the other knife, and we're just going to start, like I say, tapering this down and just tidying things up. So when it comes to cutting any kind of angle shape like that, the best thing you can do is just use the very tip of the knife, and it allows it to just twist and just cut out that fibre. And then what you may have to do is just come back just to tidy things up, just by coming in that opposite direction there. You actually end up with a lot of the feathered edges just on the inside. But these kind of things you could use straight away. If I was out just on an overnighter, I'd perhaps just use this for tonight. But if you want to, these kind of projects you can take home, you can just sand them down. And you can put a little lanyard just through the handle there, which is something which I've done on this one here. It just allows it then just to hang up, and it just saves putting your cookware and your utensils and that kind of thing in the dirt. So we're not too far off now. Just tidy things up. See, that thickness has been reduced quite a bit. I don't want to go too far with it, because when it does start to dry, you know, it may just start to shrink like I'm saying. So if I go too thin, there's more chance of it splitting. So I'll perhaps leave that for the thickness, and then just tidy the edges up and get things looking half decent. Okay, so that there is the finished project. Does look a little bit rustic. If I wanted to neaten it up a little bit, I could just sand it down, or perhaps spend just a little bit more time on it. But that edge at the moment we got down to around about 3, maybe 4 mil. That should be okay there for turning over the bacon and moving the eggs about, that kind of thing. And then if you wanted to, you could just let the moisture come out of it. You could then just treat it with a bit of mineral oil, coconut oil, something like that, again, which is going to help protect the wood. But these kind of things, you don't have to spend a great deal of time with them. If you wanted to, you could just get a stick and just taper down both front ends. You know, you could just use it like that. But again, just a nice little project just to come out, just get a bit of fresh air, and just do a little bit of carving. So there we have it, guys, just a real quick video really. The main idea was just to come out and just wish everyone a happy Christmas, but at the same time it's nice just to come out, get a bit of fresh air and do something productive. For those of you which don't celebrate Christmas, if you're not at work, I hope you have a nice holiday, and fingers crossed it's not going to chuck down with rain like it's been forecast. And fingers crossed we should be out, I'd say, in between Christmas or the New Year, if not, certainly just after the New Year. So again, I'd just like to thank everyone for stopping by. I'd like to thank everyone for supporting the channel throughout the year. And until next time, you take care, and I'll see you again.